What's up, everybody? This is the Sports League Podcast back for another week. Week one is in the books. We got the co host Amanda. Amanda's happy about her Packers getting a week one win. We got John Abraham, the 15-year pro.
So you can call me All Pro Abe from now on. You know what I'm talking
All
about?
pro A. There we go. Let's get into this. I mean, week one's in the books, and week one did not disappoint. I mean, that was some great football. It started Thursday night with the Cowboys and the Eagles. We all got this game right, picking the Eagles at home, but it was slightly more competitive than we expected. And John, were you surprised? A completely bonehead move by Jalen Carter to get ejected before the game even starts, but Dak kind of instigated it a little bit too, right?
No, I wasn't no instigation. I can spit this way, you spit that way. You don't spit on me. That's just common
Yeah.
sense. And I also can say something I've learned in life. Your action, you can't, you can't care, like you can't really know what somebody's reaction is going to be. But as Amanda stated earlier before we started taping, she called it an ejection. So give her applause for that. She was
No,
right.
I wrote that on a Target receipt because I didn't have anything else to make my notes on. But we knew the Cowboys were coming into this heated. Like they've got something to prove. It was going to be scrappy. Those two teams hate each other anyway. And I will say, if you look up what lip readers have said that looks like Dak said to Jalen Carter before the spitting incident, I would be pretty pissed off too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, we don't know exactly what happened, but also, like I said, we are adults, and I don't care. I rather if he would have open hand punched him in the face, it's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You literally spit on somebody, and like this, I'm not mad. I'm mad because he ain't got common sense. It's just like the common sense. Like if it's in the heat of battle and y'all kind of rubbing around, but
Yeah.
I think that what was worse than that, and I'm not trying to deflect from this situation. Another guy from Florida spit on a player from FSU. I mean, for USF. And I'm like, this is like Saturday. So Thursday this happened on national TV. And I'm sure the coaches was like, hey, guys, we can't do that. Yeah. Number 90 from Florida spit on a guy from USF. And I was just like, dude, you got to be the dumbest kid ever. And I'm not trying to say, huh?
I said, we're just not going to learn our lesson from the NFL.
That's just stupid. Like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like, that's what
stupid. This happened right here. There was a referee, right, like facing them. Like, it's one thing to like say some shit in the bottom of a pile up, talk some shit, like, but directly in front of a ref. Like, how dumb of a move was that?
First game of the year, really, and everybody's watching. And I know he probably was thinking that the camera wasn't on yet because you know, like. You kind of be sitting there like this, but I'm like, there are cameras everywhere. Even if people got cell phones, it's everywhere. Some stuff
everything is public. Everything is recorded now. But he does get to play next week. A pretty solid penalty, just under 60,000. But he hasn't gotten any suspension from it. So Jalen Carter will be back on the field and hopefully not spitting on anyone else this season.
But I think the NFL learned their lesson on the conspiracy theory front, too, because if they had suspended him for the Chiefs game, I think the conspiracy theories would have been out.
Yeah,
so,
true.
Yeah.
You get like a delayed suspension in week 4 or some shit.
Yeah.
It should have probably been a bigger suspension than just that game because that don't make sense to me. I think it should have been maybe a couple of weeks. But back to the football, we're going to let that go. I think Jalen played well. Jalen Hurts played well. I think Philly's going to be the team to beat again, just from watching them play. The Cowboys actually played well and better than I thought. Played like a good team. You can definitely tell that Micah Parsons is gone on the defensive line, and not because they didn't get pass rush. It's just because you don't see the energy like you see before. Like they were getting close, but it was like nah. And if they're not a team that's going to like change to a blitzing type thing, it's going to be a long season for them because Philly has a great line. Like we got to be realistic. Philly has probably the best line in the league, and trying to get to the quarterback that way is going to be tough. They got young guys that's coming off the edge. So if they want to be better and they want to get people off their back, they're going to have to start. And I don't even know if they have the linebackers to really blitz like that. I know they don't have the corners and the safeties to blitz like that. So it's going to be a long season for them, I think. And I just think Philly just didn't play well like something, because Saquon did a little bit, but we didn't see a lot of Saquon. And I think Philly is kind of molding how they did last year. We want to start off slow.
Yeah.
Last year they started off and they lost a few games. Had kind of AJ Johnson. I mean, yeah, AJ didn't really get a lot of catches. So I think they starting off kind of like they know that we're in here for like we got 16 more games. I don't want to like beat my team up now. I don't want Saquon to be almost 2,000 yards now, and we can win without him carrying the ball 30, 40 times, or we can win without, Jalen taking any major hits. So we can kind of slide through the season just kind of like how Kansas City does. Like if you look at their resume, like they win, but like last year, last year they were barely getting by. Playoffs, boom, you got a whole new team. Yeah. So I think Philly is kind of like, you know what? Let's not try to win every game. And I'm not saying they tried to lose this game at all, but you didn't really see – I didn't see the attack mentality they usually have. I saw aggression. I saw like the pickup thing, like, okay, we're going to start here. Okay, we got no panic button. There's no panic button in this season. Like we're going to make it to the playoffs, and then we're going to start playing real football.
And I will say, I think the Cowboys played better as a whole, but there were some crucial drops by CeeDee Lamb that really skewed that game. Like if he had caught some of those deep balls, this game been a lot closer and might have gone in the Cowboys. But like when your number one receiver has 4 crucial drops in a game, like that really skews the outcome of an already close game.
Yeah, and Chad Brown had a good point on that. He's like, these guys don't play in the preseason, so maybe, it was new to him. He has the entire offseason off. I don't know. But CeeDee, we definitely expect CeeDee to make that first catch.
Yeah. Which announcer was it who said, I know, week one's a liar, just like your ex? That's how I feel every year. Like the teams we're seeing this week are going to be a very, very different team in week 4 with all the starters on the field.
Yes, ma'am.
Yep. So, yeah, good win for the Eagles, 24-20. Jalen Hurts does his thing. Not a ton to talk about in this game. Javonte Williams had 2 rushing touchdowns. We'll see how the Cowboys' running game does with Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders. And like they said, the pass rush is going to be key for Dallas, and they're relying on Matt Eberflus to scheme up pressure. So we'll see how that does. But good win for the Eagles, and the Cowboys were competitive, so we'll see if they can take that into week 2. The Eagles never stop making moves, though. They signed Zadarius Smith to a 1-year deal, and they trade for running back Tank Bigsby. The Eagles had 0 sacks in this game, John, and they go and get Zadarius Smith. But in my opinion, it's like the rich get richer, right? They've got pass rushers.
Well, I don't know if Zadarius is going to be that big of a difference from what they had. Like you said, I think Amanda hit it dead on the head. The first is just like a liar. Like I don't think of the first game as being. Think about all the games we saw this week, man. Like there was so many surprises, but it was good football because we're seeing teams just learn. Like it's literally like you can't say who's going to be the favorite. Like I turned off so many games and I had to text Alice and be like, "Dang, they won."
Yeah, wait, hold up. Can we? Which big game did you turn off and not watch?
I turned off Chicago game. I turned off the Baltimore game. I was like, oh yeah, this game's over with. And I'm like, oh man, the Baltimore game. I was like, oh yeah, Buffalo. And I knew you was talking about that, man. But I was like, yeah, they done. But it's just like this is what football is. Like even if you see, I guess the Pittsburgh game with the Jets, like all these games were good games. Even
JJ McCarthy, good football.
Chicago game, it was good games because that's the kind of drama we want in the first week. Yeah. There's no team right now that we can say is going to be a Super Bowl contender. We can say everyone played well. We can see certain things. Even the injury of Xavier Worthy, like this early in the year, it got to be hurt y'all because he's supposed to be in the kind of 1, kind of 2 guy until Rice get back. So it's all kind of stuff. Like the whole scenario is like, we can talk about yards all day. We can talk about this. We got to talk about personnel now. We got to talk about new coaches doing this. The Patriots lose. It was like a lot of football, and it was just a lot to watch. And it was good because we're seeing, like now, the first week you can't tell. Like, like even with the Falcons game, when I was at the game, I was super excited because Penix played lights out good. But then I'm like,
who missed the kick at the end? I just got to toot my own horn really quick. You just said there were a lot of surprises. I had 2 games I was on the fence about. The Falcons game, lost that one by 3, had that pick wrong. And the Minnesota-Chicago game. I could have gone either way on that one, lost that pick by 3. I had 2 games wrong this week, so there were not a lot of surprises for me. I nailed this week. And the 2 I got wrong, I was so close on, and they were literally like, it could have gone either way right at the end there. But it's going to be interesting to see how some of these other teams develop. But, I mean, this one game I found interesting, but I picked correctly because we talked a little bit about how the Chiefs are just kind of in this like this hangover. Like the
Yeah.
vibes were off last year. Alex and I were jokingly texting multiple games like, do the Chiefs suck now?
I
So
almost expect to do that in this game too. It's yeah.
I mean, we expected the Chargers to win this one, and I don't know why. Like we know the Chargers are good, but the Chiefs aren't bad.
Well,
But
no, I think from the Super Bowl we can kind of tell they're bad. And I'm not saying they're a terrible team, but I'm saying that too much confidence sometimes is overwhelming. And I think that's what we're seeing.
all of
Kelsey
their
played well.
issues, all of
Yeah,
their issues have been so publicized. Like
yes.
everyone knows what's wrong with this team after the Super Bowl. Like we saw every single way to go and beat this team.
Yeah, and teams are getting better. They're
Mhm.
learning how to play against them. So it's only so many trick plays you can do. Like and Mahomes can only do so many, laying down in the air passes that get
Mhm.
completed to after you're gonna be like, look, let's just play them straight up and let's see what we're gonna do. And we gotta be honest that it was a great coach game by both coaches, and Harbaugh is that kind of we believe in Harbaugh more than we believe in Herbert. Let's just be honest. Like we just believe in Harbaugh that like him and his brother, we just believe that they can keep a team coached up, and the
Always.
Chargers believe they can win that game. That's the problem. Like last year when I told y'all, like at this time last year, I said Kansas City's gonna be in the Super Bowl. I know I told y'all that. I said that's just my team. I think
Yeah.
they then watching that last, but they end up making it. And I was like, wow, I was surprised, but now this year I came off saying Kansas City is not going to be the team people fear anymore. Like it's like no fear. And then, like I said, in the offseason, I didn't see enough. I didn't see enough big like moves or like get a real pass rusher. I would love them to see got somebody like Green maybe like the guy from Baltimore got like a young guy that can be a pass rusher for years like Derek Thomas was. They didn't do that. They defended on Jones, which he can get 8 sacks a year, but he's not like a real edge rusher. So there are a lot of little things, but you got Pat Mahomes, you got Kelsey. They feel like that's enough, and Worthy going down. But I kind of feel like this might be their season. I don't think because a lot of people want to hit like the hit that Mahomes did on that DB that was just kind of like trying to ease up on him. He knocked him down. People are tired of that. Like people are just like, man, just block him. Like just knock. So
Okay.
it's like the respect factor is gone.
Real
Yeah.
quick though, let's talk about players knocking other players out. I am obsessed with the conspiracy theory. So there was an interview on the Kelsey's Brothers podcast where they're talking to Taylor Swift. She's on the show. And basically she's a huge football fan now. She didn't know a thing about football before she met Travis. She's gotten really into it. She's obsessive. She was losing her mind over them drafting Xavier Worthy. And she was like, yeah, I was so excited. I was like screaming his name. And then the Week
Then
one,
they
Travis
fire.
Kelce takes him out because his girl was talking about this other man too much. That is the funniest shit I've ever heard. Like, it's
Yes.
so funny. Everyone's like, oh, Taylor Swift was too high on Xavier Worthy. Travis is like, nah.
I think there's something to Kansas City, like they need some more firepower, and they're relying on a lot of young guys, whether it's Karlaftis or young guys on the defensive side of the ball, even receivers. You don't have a lot of proven guys, or
Rasheed Rice is out for 6 weeks. Like,
yeah, David Worthy's hurt now, and this is something to keep an eye on. I think the Chiefs need to make a move. Tyreek Hill, the Dolphins are going to suck. They're looking bad. Bring Tyreek Hill back to Kansas City. That might provide a boost.
Yeah,
That
but I
could
think
be,
I think they thinking they're the Patriots. You can do it like
yeah.
I think they're just relying on like you had Gronk, you had Tom Brady, they have Kelsey and they have Mahomes, and they're kind of like we can throw anybody with them, and they're going to be great. And I think now they're kind of getting it like okay, we got to upgrade in other areas because even like if you can't blitz good all the time, you can't do certain things. Regardless of whether you have the best player, in the league, you still going to have to put stuff around them. Like any other team. And like, especially if you want to progress, he's 29 now. If you want to progress into the quarterback, we think he's going to be winning like 2, 3, 4 more Super Bowls. They're going to have to put some Hall of Famers around. It's going to have to put
Yeah.
some guys that you're going to be like, oh, he's a Hall of Famer too, or he's a Hall of Famer. Everybody's not Tom Brady. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be an adjustment period with Kelsey about to retire. Some guys getting older. How are they going to retool this roster and become contenders again? I want to shout out the Chargers, give them credit for a big win. This is a game where they had their home game taken away from them. They had to go to Brazil, neutral site. I thought this was a bad matchup for them. This is a tough pick for me. I ended up going with the Chargers just because I can't sit here and root for the Chiefs. So pick the Chargers, and I enjoyed watching the game, and the Chargers get a big win. Herbert outplays Mahomes. Nice to
Yeah,
see
Justin
Keenan
Herbert's
Allen
numbers,
back.
if you look at the first half of the game for Justin Herbert and compare it to the second half, the first half his numbers weren't great, but shout out to him
Yeah,
for maintaining confidence and rallying. In the second half, he completed 13 of 16 passes, and even though he was being blitzed constantly, that 19-yard gain on a
it's huge.
scramble right before the
Yeah,
2-minute warning, that was beautiful. Like shout out to him for
yeah,
not getting his head about, playing the Chiefs and, maybe not being able to beat him because it's, Patrick Mahomes, big bad Chiefs. I mean, good for him.
yeah. And shout out Quentin Johnston with 2 touchdowns, had a good game as well. Um, so that's good win for the Chargers. Good start. Um, Chiefs Eagles next week is going to be huge. I mean, do we really think the Chiefs are going to start 0-2?
Yes.
So, and if
Yeah.
they're 0-2, they're going to be feeling that pressure. That division's tough. The Raiders look good. The Broncos, their defense looks good, and I don't expect Bo Nix to play that poorly every
You know who
week.
would really
So,
help the Chiefs right now? L'Jarius Sneed.
yeah,
They need him back.
L'Jarius Sneed, Tyreek Hill, just bring all the old guys back.
Yeah. Their team was good when they had him. They let him go. And I mean, you talked about the worst team in the NFL for week one. You brought up the Dolphins. What happened there? I mean, that game
No
was,
show completely.
I think it's just Daniel Jones is just that good.
you mean Indiana Jones?
Hey, he's just that good.
He's so good.
He's
His
such a great
stats are
quarterback.
crazy. The only quarterback in history to have a scoring drive on every possession of a game, like
Every
Daniel
possession.
frickin' Jones, man. Can you
Nah,
imagine
yeah. Oh, go ahead,
being a
man.
fan of his old team and just like watching this shit? Like, are you kidding me? Where was that when he was here?
No, like we talked about
Yeah,
it. We talked about it even before the season started in our preview. Like the Dolphins are going to be a terrible team because
Yeah.
of the coaching. Um, and they're not going to get rid of him now, but I can't see him making it through the season. And it's
yeah,
definitely, and I don't think they have a winning attitude. And I think Tyreek Hill is checked out right now because of especially with the situation. And I don't like talking about personal stuff, but the stuff with
There's
now she
personal
claimed that
stuff
he
going
did
on.
this and he did that, and you're trying to play football and y'all getting dog walked by the Colts, and it's like you can tell that nobody's interested because if you see the players, you see the interest level on the sidelines. It's like nobody look like they care. The defense don't look like they're attacking. Offense look like if I get the ball, if I don't get the ball, and you can't really see a separation, but you feel a separation because it seems like they don't even want to play with each other. Like they have no core. Like right now, they have no core. Tua, I don't even know. Hey man, it's just like that was just bad football. And all these guys are winners. You got Waddle, you got Tua, you got Tariq, you got guys that won Super Bowl on this team. And I know Jalen Ramsey couldn't have had that much energy, so he left, and then everybody just like boom, like it couldn't have felt that much. John Smith did not bring that much stuff to y'all, did he? Because it's just like
yeah.
and like it's like that's why you hate paying players sometimes because you pay them and then you get that.
Yeah, yeah. Amanda, I think the coach has lost the locker room already. I think they knew it going into the season, and he's got to be the hottest seat in the entire league right now. They need to be looking to move on from him soon, honestly. But where do they go from here? Tua is looking like he's not the guy. The coach isn't the guy. Tyreek wants out. Everything is going into a complete rebuild. Every arrow is pointing in that direction.
Yeah, I mean, coming up this next week, they got to face Vrabel and the Patriots. Like that team has been giving Miami trouble for a few years now. Like they whooped on
Yeah.
them in 2021, 2023. I'm depressed for them. It's funny to me. My husband missed all of last season. He was out deployed, didn't see any football. So he was thinking like Tua from like 2 concussions ago. He's like, "Oh yeah, Miami's got this one." And I was like, are you sure?" And I tried to talk him out of it. He's like, "No, I'm just gonna stick with my pick and see what happens." And like the whole game, I'm like, bro.
Yeah, I mean, Daniel Jones looked like I've never seen Daniel Jones look like that. The Colts offense was doing whatever they wanted.
Daniel Manning over here. Indiana Jones looking fly.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so we'll see. It's funny to hear Mike McDaniel post game say the good news and the positives are I don't think it can get any worse.
They're gonna
Yeah.
get shut out next week by the Patriots just because he said
I
that.
hope so.
What's funny to me is someone asked them like going into the week, like, "Hey, how do you feel like the chemistry between Tua and Tyreek? Does it seem like the chemistry's there?" They're like, "Oh, we're not concerned about it. We're doing great." What?
Yeah, that was terrible. And OJ McDuffie, who does a Dolphins podcast, he was not happy. So we'll see. The Dolphins need to figure something out. John, let's talk about the game. You were at the Falcons and the Bucks, and this was a great game, back and forth, 23-20, and Younghoe Koo with a chance to tie it and go to overtime, which this game deserved. This game was so good, we needed overtime, but Younghoe Koo can't make the kick. That's a Falcons need to figure out their kicking game, right?
It ain't the kicking game. It's one guy, and I don't like being. I actually like Koo. I think he's done so much in the years he's been here. But starting from last year, it just started going off. It just started missing, and then they claimed it was an injury. But then the first game, you know how it is. The first game you come in and miss a kick that could have put y'all in a chance to win overtime, and how if you would have been at the game, the energy, like I am a fan of the team now. So and I'm a fan of the fans now. Everybody was still there. When he threw the pass, and I'll tell you, they really got to get another DB besides that. This Hughes dude, I mean, it's just like sometimes like somebody is at the end of the game, they going down and they throw it and they catch it, and I'm looking like who was the guy that got beat? I'm like, son of a itch. And I'm like, so then, but then look, the poise that Penix had with like 59 seconds on the clock, walking down the field, throw a perfect pass, get them in field goal position to set you up for overtime because the energy in the building was so good. I mean, nobody left because they felt like that Penix is going to do it again. Like even putting it in the end zone, I know you've seen the meme where they said he scored on this, and it was like he was about 5 yards away, and he was able to get his hand in. But the guy is so mature. And I think we forget that he's the age he is, even though he's in his second year in the league, he's like going on 26 now. So he's a grown man, but he talks it, but he walks it. The defense, one thing about the defense that kind of bothered me is that they didn't give anybody a chance to really stay in the game. They rotated the defensive ends or the edges. They say so many. Like Floyd was in, then they took Floyd out, then they put Walker in, they took Walker out, and put Pierce in, then they put Ebiketie in, and then they're saying 96. I don't even know what his name is. He put him in. And I'm looking like, okay, we got to get some solidified starters so the guys can play like 3 or 4 drives, then come out, put somebody else in. So that's the only thing I would say. Diablo played like I'm glad we got him. That guy, I didn't know he was like that. Like you see somebody, like you can see somebody on tape and you can see him like that, but you see him in person, man, he was in there just running like straight downhill. He was giving me linebacker play that we needed last year. So that was a definite positive. I think this Falcons team by the end of the year is going to be something to talk. And but only thing I was mad about, and I hate they did it this year because usually they put Tampa Bay as the last game. They put you put a divisional game the first game of the year. That's ass. I'm sorry. That's just now, the atmosphere was great, but it's like you're automatically like at the bottom now because your first game is you're playing like a divisional guy, and it's Tampa. So Tampa game is always the energy game. And if you saw the first half of the game, like Baker couldn't really do anything. In the second half, Baker just became Baker. And this is why I said about the defensive and the edge thing. He just kept breaking contain. They would try to squeeze in, and then he'll just come outside. He'll just go outside. And that's what extended the plays for him. That's why they ended up losing the game. It wasn't really because of Koo, but like I said, he didn't lose the game, but he didn't give us the opportunity to win it.
Yeah.
You can tell that these teams did not sort out who needs to be where, both teams. In the preseason games. Like there were so many young rookies to try out in these preseason games. The rest is still there. They haven't set up their lines. Like you talked about a lot of transitions and back and forth and switching players out for the Falcons. The Bucks O-line was not set at all during this game. They kept rotating. Like the Bucks O-line didn't know what they were doing either. And I think that's one thing about the shorter preseason. I know they did it in the name of player safety, but week 1 is kind of a throwaway week because everyone is still sorting out who needs to be on the field and what the lineup needs to be. And, the Bucks completely reconfigured their offensive line in the offseason, and they were still moving people around during the game. So it'll be interesting to see on their next matchup later in the season how this looks. But Penix with that, what was it, his second pass of the game that went for 50 yards? Like he looks good. I know he's young, but his upside is fantastic. And
Yeah.
that run, dodging some of those tackles, that was a beautiful play.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bijan's the
Yeah.
guy.
Yeah, Falcons are looking good. They're building something for the future. Tampa Bay, we know how good the Bucks are. We talked about them potentially going to the NFC Championship game this year. For Atlanta to be right there in the end to force the OT shows how good the Falcons are building something here. But I want to take a shout out. I was all over Emeka Ibuka, and that dude looks like the real deal immediately. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell the way Baker talks about him in interviews. He's like, that guy is so good. Like he knows his like football knowledge is so good. Like our connection is great. Like I can just say a play to him. He's got everything memorized. Like I'm so
yeah,
excited to watch the two of them together. It felt weird picking it against the Bucks, but the energy on the Falcons, I was buying into Abe's hype a little bit. So
yeah.
I'm excited for that division.
They should have won the
Me,
game. If you watch it, they should have won the game. I think the offensive line, because the rushing was not well at all. Like the rushing game was like, but Penix, like he played so well, and like even you saying with a 50-yard pass, seeing Bijan get an explosive pass because last year he only had 34-yard explosive pass. So seeing him getting that was definitely that was at the beginning of the game. So we really thought
Yeah.
it was going to be a blowout. We thought it was going to be like, but then it was
So I
just
got
like
cocky about my pick after that play. I was like, oh, heck yeah, I'm starting out great.
it was
Damn.
so easy, and it felt like the game. But the O line didn't play bad, but they didn't play like aggressive as I would like them to do. You know, especially playing against Tampa Bay, but also it's Tampa Bay. So people
Yeah.
gotta understand, like you play your rivals. Everything else is thrown out. Like it don't matter, like all the stuff that you're saying. This guy's better than this, that. When it's a rival game, and but like I said, with Cool, it just hurts so bad because I love the guy, but it's like even everybody in the organization love him. Like every time he kick, they like cool. Even when he made a tackle in the game, it's cool. But it's like, dude, we were
Well, at
ready.
least they didn't cut him. The 49ers already cut their kicker.
well, they did bring in competition, though. In comes
Yeah.
in Parker Romo, who actually looked pretty good in 4 games with the Vikings last year. So there's competition. Young Wei Koo better step it up, otherwise he's going to lose his job. So
Yeah,
I
but
like that they didn't cut him.
cutting someone after 1 or 2 missed kicks in week one
Oh,
is crazy to me.
yeah.
Like,
I can see it. I can see it. Hey, sometimes we weren't around in practice either, though. So
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
practice in the preseason. Like you can kind
It's
of
like,
see a guy missing in practice, and like in practice we joke around. This is the funny thing, Amanda. Like we'll be in practice and the kicker be missing and stuff. We'll be like, oh man, and it's kind of funny. All right, line it up and kick it again. And the funny thing about Waku missing the kick, they froze him out. He kicked one and made it. And then
yeah.
the second kick, he missed wide right, and it was now you
Yeah.
understand. I had my family because they did a little presentation for me or whatever for the game, which is totally cool. So I had my
Okay.
family. None of like literally when I said nobody was leaving their seats because we knew we was going to overtime, we knew we was going to win the game. But then when that kick missed, if you seen like a deflation of a tire or a deflation of a balloon, like just it was like, and then the Tampa Bay fans started talking trash and all that stuff. They were scared as hell. Too.
Well, shout out to Atlanta fans for sticking it out because Josh Allen called out Buffalo Bills fans for leaving. He's like, you got to have some faith. Stay for the whole game next time. Like,
Right?
Yeah.
when your quarterback calls you out,
No, I know that's what he's supposed to do. Shit.
yeah. So
Well,
Alex, there were a couple games that we were talking about could go either way, like real close matchups. Another one was Cincinnati Cleveland. That
oh
was
yeah.
like either way. Like it wasn't. It was what we expected it to be. I don't think it was going to be a big, high attention grabbing game, but it was a close game as we expected. What are your takeaways about how that Cincinnati offense looks?
Man, they were terrible in that second half. 7 yards, what, 5 3 and outs? Uh, like the Bengals every single year start slow, and you could understand if the offense was doing its thing and the defense was just terrible because that's
Because they
what we
don't have a
expect.
defense.
Yeah, but to only beat the Browns by 1 point and to have a second half that was that bad and that sloppy, at least they got the win. That's the only thing that they can say. But they got to clean this up, John. I mean, how do they? The Bengals are sloppy and slow starters every year.
Like I'm thinking, are we watching the two worst teams in the league in the AFC?
Yeah.
I'm
And
just
then
being honest.
Miami played.
I know they're in. It's a Cleveland rivalry. I get it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all playing kind of like each other, so the game's got to be close and everything. But Cincinnati, this shouldn't even be. I don't know. It was depressing to watch. And then looking at the numbers and the stats, you have all these people. You paid your receivers. You gave this guy all the equipment that he wanted. Even paid Hendricks. I mean, and being Cincinnati, this is the kind of stuff that make them so cheap. Like
Yeah.
we're paying the money, we're doing this in the first game. Like I would have wanted to see Shador play. It's just how weird this game was because it's so bad, and
Yeah.
Cleveland probably should have won this game. I mean, just be honest. And
Yeah.
like Cincinnati comes out this way every year, so we're getting used to it. But after a while, it's like, Joe, what the heck, man? Like, what you doing on the offseason? Like every time you start off like this, and you always kind of, he's not blaming people, but it always kind of like he's kind of like, in that little, I don't know what's going on. No, it's got like, bro, this Cleveland. Like it's not even like this is the kind of stuff like when New England played, like back in the day when New England played a certain team, we knew New England was gonna whoop their, but like they're gonna put 50. Like Cincinnati, when you see Cleveland on your thing, it's supposed to be something you circle and like we're gonna dog walk them. It's not even gonna be close. And not saying Cleveland doesn't have great players, but let's be realistic. This game shouldn't even came down to this.
No, and if Andre Schmidt makes a 36-yarder, they lose. So
It was
what do you
crazy
think,
to me
Amanda?
with all the money they paid Jamar Chase to leave this game 2 catches, 5 targets, 26 yards. Like that's embarrassing, especially when like you don't have a defense. The only way you're going to win games, unless you're playing Cleveland in week 1, is by putting on 4 touchdowns or more. Like this was embarrassing. And I know there's Myles Garrett and Denzel Ward. I think the solution to this shitty matchup would just be to mash the two teams together. You get Cleveland's defense, Cincinnati's offense, and just call them the Ohio whatever. So like, I it was so bad. It was yeah.
Yeah, the Bengals and Browns, I mean, yeah, they hate each other. It's a rivalry, so you never know what you're going to get. But that was just sloppy football and one of those week 1 games. But the Browns, they got some good play out of their rookies, Harold Fannin Jr. with a nice game. Dylan Sampson had a good game. So the Bengals are at home against,
20 touches in his first game.
yeah, yeah.
Fantastic.
And then they signed Quinshot Judkins finally, so maybe they can get something out of him. So we'll see with the Browns. Jags at Bengals in week 2. The Bengals better look better in that game because otherwise John is going to be saying 2-0 Trevor Lawrence. So Bengals better.
Who do they play, sir?
Yep.
And we know the Browns are losing next week. We're going to Baltimore.
Oh, yeah. At Ravens, that's a blowout. Yeah.
They're done.
Let's go to Raiders Patriots. And I was disappointed by this game because I've been talking up the Patriots all offseason, and they get beat at home by the Raiders. It's a game they should have won. They allow the Raiders to convert a 3rd and 20 late to pretty much put the game away. I was not happy with the Patriots, but the Raiders look good. What do you guys think?
I think Geno Smith did what he's supposed to do. I think we're asking too much from a new coach and I hate saying new team, but it's a new team. Once you get a new coach and you get new players in positions, it's a new team. So to say they played well is to me saying that the Raiders are not as good as we think they're going to be. The Patriots are going to get better, and like you said, they get to see the Jets. So I'm really interested in watching the Jets play against the Patriots. I'm really interested in watching them play Buffalo and Miami. I'm interested in the AFC East, like I said before, because the Jets played well this week. Miami just tricked it off, but obviously we've seen Buffalo play well. So. But I think they're going to be better than we think. This game with Vegas was the first game of a head coach, so there's a lot of stuff you got to watch around. And it's 2 head coaches that have got a lot of football behind there. So it's going to be, it was supposed to be that kind of game. And saying it's the first game, it wasn't a blowout for the Vegas. I think that's very commendable for the Patriots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This was definitely like a throwaway extra preseason kind of game vibe. There's so much new personnel between these two teams. I mean, we saw Geno Smith come into this game with an amazing first possession, that 26-yard touchdown pass to Trey Tucker, beautiful. And then the offense kind of disappeared for a quarter and a half. And then, defense, Vegas held the Pats scoreless in the final two quarters. So their defense looked good, but we were only getting half a game from either side of the ball there. So I'm expecting both of these teams to look very different in a few weeks. I'm with Abe on this. Like there's just a lot of new here that they're still working out.
Yeah, but a good win for the Raiders. You go from the West Coast to the East Coast. You play a 1 o'clock kickoff on the road, and you get a win. I mean, they surprised me. So solid start for the Raiders, and they have a home game on Monday night against the Chargers. I mean, maybe the Raiders can shock us and get to 2-0. We'll see how they look week 2. But good road win to start the season. Let's go to the game of the week, Amanda. The Cardinals and the Saints. I know you were watching every second of this one.
I had 4 screens on, and this was 0 of them. No, thank you for that one. I know we talked about how the Saints were probably going to be the worst team in the NFL this year, but there was some competition this week. I don't know.
Yeah, but they weren't very good either. And the Saints, John, the Saints need to stop wearing these black helmets. They're 0-5 in the black helmets. What are they doing?
They're the Aints, man. That's what it is. They're the Aints. I think both. Like it's kind of like when we were talking about Vegas and the Patriots. Seeing the Saints and even the Cardinals, and it's sad because they have a veteran quarterback, and playing the Saints is one of these games that you're supposed to just roll over people. Like I'm thinking that as a mentality type thing. Their players are not, Buda Baker, he's always going to be a good player, whatever. But you watch just games like this, and Arizona is still going to be on the bottom of the chart. Like I don't see them getting better. Like they keep adding people every year. They add like another guard or another tackle because like they scared to put money in this. I mean, sure, Marvin Harris Jr., but we haven't seen like this spectacular thing that we're waiting for. We're thinking he's going to get 1,600 yards a year, and we haven't seen that breakout game from him yet. Now, is that Kyler Murray's fault? Is that the offensive quarterback? Like, is Gannon doing it right? Like what's going on? Like. You could take a win. I know that. And I ain't trying to like knock the team, but when you see you play certain teams, you want to kind of see 40 to 20.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bad defense, but this is the kind of game that you want to see the numbers being excessively abnormal. Like you want to see Harrison having like a 150, 10 catches. You want to see, Kyler Murray having like 300 yards because it's an unbalanced defense for the Aints right now. And you didn't see that. So you saw a game that, could have went anyway. It's just like this is the first week, so I'm not trying to get too much in detail about it, but it wasn't good football to watch to me.
Wow. I will say the Cardinals had 7 plays for a loss, which is just bad. But until the Bears game, I thought the Saints were just doing terrible with penalties. 13 penalties for 89 yards. We'll talk about the Bears later. They made the Saints look good. They made the Saints look so good as far as penalties are concerned. But the self-inflicted wounds in this game, like that O-line for the Cardinals needs to step up. They need to learn when to take a sack, when to just go down. Like don't keep dropping back if you're not going to be able to break open. Like 7 plays for negative yardage is just going to come back and bite you in the ass when you're playing someone else. And the Saints, lots of time management issues, missed kick, lots of penalties. So a lot of things that both teams need to look at moving into week 2 and 3.
Yeah, so another sloppy football game. And to me, I've been saying this for a while, I'm not a believer in the Cardinals, and I think that stems from my not believing in Kyler Murray. I'm not a Kyler Murray guy. I didn't like him coming into the NFL. I didn't think he should have been the number 1 pick. And he's had his moments, but the consistency, I think, is lacking. And I think the Cardinals have done a piss-poor job of hiring coaches, whether it's Cliff Kingsbury, Jonathan Gannon. You know what I mean? It's not the right guys, and that could be part of the issue with Kyler Murray. I love Marvin Harrison Jr., but he's not breaking out the way we want. The one good thing, Will Johnson looked really good in his debut at corner, the rookie, so maybe they can build on that.
Yeah, but do you think if Josh Allen was on the Cardinals, they'll be better? I'm just saying because I'm not Kyler Murray. I'm really not trying to knock him. But if you think about it, might be something to do with the quarterback too and the coach. But I'm like, Yeah, if I saw the same number, you get the same players, and you stick him in that offense, like Amanda said, like they had 7. Like I think Josh would have been. This would have been different. You'll see a different Marvin Harrison Jr. So I think
Yeah.
it's definitely coming from the head coach, as we said before. But it's got to we got to put more accountability on Kyler, man. Like it's like, dude, this is your offense, it's your team. Like, and I like not saying he ain't a good leader because I don't know him at all in life, but it's like they ain't blocking for you. It's like they don't care. Like if an offensive line don't like really block for a quarterback, I always feel like it's something that you're not doing as a quarterback.
I
Yeah.
can't remember who the other team was, but I texted Alex once during the games and I was like, does this O-line hate their quarterback? I don't remember which game that was, but this one also kind of gave me that vibe. They just didn't care, which is
Right.
not.
Yeah, yeah, and it goes back to when they had to put that clause in his contract that said study more, stop playing Call of Duty, and study and be prepared. So I don't know. Cardinals are got to figure that out. I loved this game though. The Steelers and the Jets was the 1 o'clock game. I pretty much had it on this game the whole time. I loved everything about it. Jets were up 26-17 late in the third. The Steelers had to rally to win 34-32. Chris Boswell with a 60-yard field goal. But my favorite play of the entire weekend, John, was Jalen Ramsey hitting Garrett Wilson on that fourth down. I know you're wearing the Jets, so I'm sorry. But I love that play by Jalen Ramsey to win the game. And Jalen Ramsey brings something to Pittsburgh that they've been lacking, I think, a few years.
Yeah, like it's crazy because like it's the first week. Like I want to say the Jets played great and Pittsburgh played great. It was a
They
great
did,
game.
though. They played really well.
No, I'm saying but you can't say if they're a good team yet because they're
Yeah.
playing it. Know what the team's going to be. You have 2 new quarterbacks. You have 2 new offense. You have like 2 different things. So it's like I want to be like sure they're going to be great this year because they played, but they could be 2 bad teams that played and they look awesome playing against each other. So that's the thing that I'm like I can't. So that's why I was like for me it's like this week was tough because I wanted to see AG win because I played with him and I wanted to see I want to see what Aaron does, but I'm like, is this just 2 bad teams in the game? Because it's still like 40
Evenly
points.
matched, bad team.
Yeah, no, it's still like,
That's my Super Bowl pick. The Steelers can't be bad.
teams gave up over 30 points. Like, let's be realistic, man. We can say how good Jalen them did and all that stuff and how good both teams gave over 30 points, and they're not high
Both
power.
defenses were so bad. The
Yeah.
Steelers defense.
Now you see what
Oh, I'm with you. The Steelers defense
great.
could not stop a single run in this game. It was so, and the Jets have an amazing running back duo. That was like I was into them. I was about to pick them in this one, but I mean, Brees Hall was running through that defense like they were made out of tissue paper. It was bad. But just a quick cool fact about this game. This is the first time that 2 quarterbacks have faced each other in week 1 that had previously played on the opposite team.
And it was very cool to see them both play well. I mean, they both balled out. Rodgers looked vintage. He was Green Bay Rodgers. We haven't seen that. We didn't see that at all in New York. And you get
good numbers. They had good numbers. Did they play with that's what I'm trying to tell you. Like the first week, you do not want to give up 30 points. Like both teams gave up 30. Like it's like literally 707 out there. And I'm sorry, the Jets O line kicked the Steelers' butt. Like if you look at the film, like the close up, JJ Watt got pancaked like 3 times, and that's TJ Watt, he got pancaked like 3 times. But I'm just saying that's what scares me because both of them like they just want to kind of score points and like have a good game for the first game because of switch of quarterbacks and they all meant something. But I'm thinking in the long run, like giving up 30 points is not good in the NFL, regardless of if it's a high shooting game or not. But what does your defense do? Like this is what's kind of messed me up with the game because I think these teams can be either or. So I got to see next week and see. I got to see
someone else. They're very similar teams.
Exactly.
If you look at both have a solid running back situation, solid quarterback. The O lines did well. Both defenses sucked. I mean, the Jets gave up 2 fourth-quarter leads.
Yeah.
Like, last year, the Jets lost the franchise record 6 games after leading in the fourth quarter. They are not off to a very different start this year. And that very costly penalties at very inopportune times. It was a good game. They were evenly matched. Was it good football? Are either of these teams good?
I loved it. And I'm gonna push back, and I hear you on everything you guys are saying, but from my perspective, we haven't seen Aaron Rodgers look this good since Green Bay. It was refreshing,
Team.
but
Like
he
both of the quarterbacks play their old teams. This is common sense.
Yeah.
Why I don't know
You
what
guys showed up here.
like think about what you're saying. I went to play my old team and put up 30 points. Oh well. You like this is your old team. You're supposed to do this. Now let's say if Pittsburgh defense would have played well and like the Jets ain't scored no points. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that both of them, like, because it's like two quarterbacks playing against
well,
their defense. They know the players inside out. They know the schemes. So you should did this was supposed to look like, but I'm saying that it wasn't good football. Like it was good if you wanted to watch like high scoring games, you want to see big plays, but it's just not good ball. If you're playing your old team knows you well, you know them well. It should have been like this game would have been 15-14. I would have felt better about it. I'm like, dog, the defense played their butt off. And let's say if the quarterback still had the same numbers, I would have felt better. I said, oh, these two good teams. Two good teams
yeah.
are not like, even though, Baltimore and Buffalo game was 41-40, those are two good teams. We know that. They didn't exchange any players, but they played good football. That was good football. You just seen two good, like you seen a monster running back in him. So it's different. Like this was just like, this might have been two bad teams that scored a lot.
My only thing on this, well, I'll say is there is reason to be encouraged for Aaron Rodgers because I believe that I heard Sean Merriman say that after you tear your Achilles, you need two really full years to recover and get right. And he did look, in my opinion, better. He looked like, and he was making throws. I don't know. And we'll see. I don't think either of these quarterbacks are going to be elite. I think they're going to come back down a little bit. But they both look good, and it's encouraging. It's off to a right start. The defenses are what need to adjust. And so but
Yeah.
Jets fans are believing. You listen to the radio and stuff; they're like, Justin Fields should be our quarterback for the next 10 years.
So,
I
I
agree with
mean,
that.
if you look at like last year and the relationship Aaron Rodgers had with the Jets and stuff, and his interviews now, they were like, "Oh, how
Yeah,
to beat the Jets?" He's like, "I'll beat anyone associated with the Jets. I don't have anything nice to say about them."
yeah,
I do feel like that recovery was rushed. Like Hugh Jackson, when we had him on last year, he was saying like normally it's a full 18 to 24 months for that kind of
yeah,
recovery. So I do think he came back too soon. However, if you are going out in public and you know your ex is going to be there, you do everything you can to look fucking amazing, Alex. So
yeah.
I'm with Abe on this one. Also, it is so weird to hear you hyping Aaron Rodgers so much as a Bears fan. This is
Well,
a very strange experience for me, but I'm glad both of them are happy and being given an opportunity in their new locations because
yeah,
that's an Aaron Rodgers, not a great relationship. The Bears letting Justin Fields go, I thought they let him go too soon. I thought they should have invested and
yeah,
built around him. So I am very glad that they're both getting a second shot at love over here because they
yeah.
both deserved it.
Well, and also, I think it's the Steelers. I'm kind of rooting for the Steelers team. I picked them to go to the Super Bowl, and I like what they've built. It's an older team, but I'm tired of Mike Tomlin getting shat on for dragging a shitty team to the playoffs every year. You know what I mean? He needs to get some respect, and so I would love to see this team go on a deep playoff run. We'll see if they can get it done. Good to see the Jets do well. The Steelers signed Jabril Peppers as well, so that's a good move. And
Another
we'll
old
know a lot
player.
more. Yeah, we'll know a lot more about these teams in week 2 because the Jets play the Bills and the Steelers play the Seahawks. So we'll know better in week 2. Um, but that was just a fun game to watch from my perspective. Let's talk Giants Commanders. This game, not a lot to say about this one. The Commanders win 21-6. The Giants look really bad. How long would you wait, Amanda? How long would you continue to put Russell Wilson out there and until you go to Jackson Dart? Because he didn't look that good.
Well, so I don't know if the Commanders' defense is good or if the Giants' offense was bad in this one. Like it's another
Yeah,
one of those like it's week one, it's too early to tell. I think we'll know a lot more about the Commanders' defense against Green Bay's offense, who looked really good this
yeah,
week. I think that'll kind of show us. But I mean, their run defense was 30th last season, so maybe they've improved. Maybe they're still terrible. Um, I don't make any big decisions about teams and pulling players out and switching quarterbacks after week one for many reasons. And I've said this forever when preseason was a game longer even. So I feel like week one is just such a throwaway game and for so many reasons. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, Russ looked a little rough in this one.
Hmm.
No touchdowns. Looked like the same Giants offense, but switching quarterbacks out. So
Yeah.
I don't know. He was
Well,
what
and the Giants
two
can't
for
really
12
afford to be.
under pressure.
Yeah, and they can't afford to be patient because you got GM and head coach on the hot seat. You got Malik Neighbors, John. You see Malik Neighbors kind of throwing a little bit of a fit, refusing to shake the hand of the head coach. He
Russ had to
obviously
talk
was,
him back onto the field once. Did you see that?
yeah, yeah. So,
I think, and I'm just being like totally transparent here. I think that the only quarterback you really have on the roster, like literally the only quarterback you have, you have Jameis Winston. He's media now. You have Russell. He's Sierra husband now. He's not really. When the last time you seen a highlight? Like literally, when the last time
yeah,
you seen a real highlight from him? Like, and all the highlights we got from Jameis is literally the dumb stuff he do on the offside. You know, the speeches he make and all the stuff.
He's be
He
on the social media team.
yes, like so the only quarterback you have on the team is Dart, and I think that having Russell just there because he's a little bit more mature and everything, but he's not there. Like I told you, when I went to that camp, you can see the difference between the Jets trying to be a good team and you seen the Giants were just kind of out there. They were just doing like stuff. They weren't really working on football. When Dart got in the game, you seen a different type measurement because especially when you're a younger guy, they know who Russell is, they know who Jameis is, but they kind of like we can grow with Dart. Like I'm like this is my second year. Dart, he can come in and we can just learn this stuff together. I know we can have a relationship now. Like I can't have a relationship with Russell because Russell's got he worried about Sierra. You have those guys that be in the locker room and they're just on the team, but they're not really on the team. They're kind of like, next year he could be someplace else. This is just a stop in his life, get a check, do my little thing. And you see these guys after the game, they're going into the city to do an event or something like that. Like even with James Wood, you see him doing podcasts, instead of like learning football still and trying to make this Giants team better. I think Dart would be the best thing just because you can work with him and he can learn new stuff. You can't teach these old dogs new tricks. So you might as well try this young guy. If I'm gonna go out losing, if I'm Dabo, I'm like, look, I'm going out losing. I'm gonna lose with somebody that I think that wants to play. Like I'm just seeing too much out of these other two guys, and all the highlights I see of them are not football related.
I
yeah,
will say before they put Dart in, if I were a Giants fan and I were watching this team, this is the other team that I said the O-line hates their quarterback. It was this one. I had to look it up in our messages. Um, that O-line was leaky as hell. They were missing left tackle Andrew Thomas for this game. I think they need to fix that O-line before putting Jackson Dart in because I don't think he would make it through the
Put him
season.
in the fire. Put him in the fire. Like make him great. Like I know it sounds bad, but let's see what he can do. Like, and honestly, I think they might play better with him. Like, because
yeah.
sometimes if
I think so.
you're not a new guy and I'm a
Bring
new
the
guy,
passion back.
I talk to you different. Like if I'm a new guy in a situation, I want to get better with you. Like, look, he can go tell the tackle, like, maybe Russ doesn't have that thing to go tell that tackle, like, yeah, I got you. I know you're gonna be good. I got your back. Da da da. You get Dart in there, a younger guy that you kind of, he's young. We got to, and then think about this: the play change is going to change with Dart compared to Russell. Let's change the play. He trying to let's keep him short. Let's get the ball out quick. Compared to you thinking that Russell can like sit in the pocket and try to, you got one, two,
He's not
three people.
mobile. Russ isn't running anymore.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I'm saying. But he's a quarterback now that they think can have three options compared to having a quarterback. We're gonna run a screen here. We're gonna do some quick stuff here. We're gonna do a slant here. We're gonna get it out of the hand quick. With Russell, they thinking that they can. He has progressions. With him, we don't want no progressions. We want you to just see one guy gets that guy. If that guy's not there, run. If that guy's not there, go to two. That's it. You got 1 and 2. You don't got 3, 4, 5. 3, 4, 5 just decoys. You don't worry about that. So that's the kind of thing I'm saying. Just simplify your offense for a younger guy. And then, like I said, if I'm gonna waste a year away, which this year looked like it's gonna be wasted, like they're going to switch quarterbacks sooner or later. We know it.
Yeah.
I don't care what y'all say. Like Russ is not gonna come and be the
No,
Russ.
I agree. I want them to have a full O-line before they bring Dart in because I don't want him injured in week 3.
well, the issue is they don't have a choice
Yeah.
because they didn't spend money on it. They didn't upgrade it. And the only guy I said, me and John talked about this on our preview of the NFC East. the only way these guys are going to save their jobs is by putting Jackson Dart in. Russell Wilson, Jameis, they're not saving their jobs. So Dart needs to show that he's the franchise quarterback of the future to, they're hanging by a thread. They need Jackson Dart to ball out. So, yeah, we'll see. And the Commanders, you can't tell anything by this game, but we'll know a lot more about the Commanders on Thursday night in Lambeau. That's going to be a fun game. I know Amanda's looking forward to that one. Let's talk Panthers, Jags. Jags jump out to a 20-3 lead and win easily 26-10. And I could talk about, Trevor Lawrence looking better, but that's not really the story of this game. The story of this game is Bryce Young, again, really struggling. And just as we thought that he had turned a corner and the Panthers were going to be a lot better this year, they look terrible against not a great Jacksonville Jaguars team either. John, what do you make of the Panthers and Bryce Young looking so bad?
Besides J.C. Horn, it was just like bad football. I think, it's stupid that I always have to say that. I think the players get so into the off season of doing all this Instagram and all this other stuff, like Xavier Legette, he's supposed to be the guy, but I mean, I'm seeing you doing all this extra stuff, and we want to see you like learning football. We want to see you doing so much thing. And even with Bryce, we didn't see a lot of Bryce on the off season, I know, but it's like, did you get better? Like it can't always, and like what Amanda was talking about the offensive line, it can't always be dependent on the offensive line. If you know you got a bad offensive line, you got to be a better quarterback. It's just common sense. Like when I was on teams and look, John, we got nobody else to get sacks for you. I got to get better then. I got to do something better. Like if I know the D tackle beside me is not going to be as good, I know I'm going to have to get my job right. So they're either going to have to put them in positions to win like they did last year, or they're going to go through another year and put everything on Bryce. Bryce is him again. And I think Cam Newton said that he needs to start learning how to step up in the pocket compared to just sitting there taking hits and everything. And like, this is not Alabama, bro. Like, you ain't gonna get these 5-star linemen. Like, it's hard because you only really need 2 good linemen. If you can find a great guard and a great backside tackle, you can pretty much have a good team and throw anybody in. And a lot of time it's about the mentality of the offensive lineman. Like I said, Brady never had no Hall of Fame lineman. Like, you can look around, like there's nobody from New England. They say that, oh, he's going to be a Hall of Fame guy. It was just like learning what you're good at and getting that ball out. Like, people have a problem of incompletions. I'd rather get an incompletion than a sack. Like, throw the ball, like get an opportunity. And if you have confidence in yourself and confidence in your receivers, you'll force some stuff. Like, and that's what Bryce was forcing stuff last year. Guys were covered, but he was still throwing it and putting, I guess, confidence in them. We don't know how much work they got in the offseason because it just don't seem like the confidence is there for him to let it go and believe in his receivers to catch it.
Yeah.
Interesting news out of Jacksonville yesterday. So during the offseason, Travis Etienne and Tank Bigsby were fighting over that first spot. They went back and forth. They traded their number 2 running back to the Eagles yesterday for draft picks in next year's draft. So it's interesting that they're stepping away from their clear number 2 guy so soon in the season.
Yeah. I'm going to pull that up and see who their new number 2 guy is, but that's an interesting
2 rookies they drafted. I don't know who number 2 is, but it was very interesting to see that because he was back and forth, and they were talking about maybe trading Travis Etienne in the off season. Like, there was a lot of talk about him leaving. They make it through one game, and the next day Tank is out.
Yeah, they're going with that rookie, that Bashal Tutin, who's a pretty good young back. So yeah, interesting move. But again, we could overreact to these 2 teams, but it's week 1. We'll know a lot better week 2. Jags at Bengals. I expect Cincy to win that, look a lot better, and bring the Jags back down to earth a little bit. And then for the Panthers, they're at the Cardinals. And, I mean, even as bad as the Cardinals look, they could be 2-0, so we'll see. But this game surprised me. The Titans and the Broncos, this game was just sloppy. I had been talking up Denver all offseason, and they looked bad in this game. Bo Nix was turning the ball over, and they struggled to beat a bad Titans team, even with great defensive play. So I don't know what to make of this.
I mean, you turn the ball over 4 times, it's going to be hard to win.
Yeah.
Cam Ward thought he was still in Miami. Watch how he was. Watch how he was playing. He was like sitting there, and like I saw a few times he got and the rush was coming, and he wasn't moving. He was kind of sitting there thinking that they were like not going to hit him. Like God, the whole rep, and they was talking about look how much time he had. And he just kind of like sat in the pocket and just did this. I seen him so many times backing up and doing this and kind of like sitting, like not moving his feet, not being ready to throw, and they were just getting to him. It's like you're not in Miami no more, man. You're in the league now. All that stuff that you thought that your linemen going to be holding people, these guys are coming. It's not. If you watch the tape, you'll see him just like literally setting up like nothing went wrong, and a guy will come by and he'll just think it's going to be cake to bam. I'm like, dude.
He was setting up like calm and like he seemed like he knew what he was doing, and then he got smacked at. Like it was. I was like, why is he being so chill? Like it was so funny. He was zen. And
That's
then
true.
the turnovers and the penalties and the sacks. How did you still win that game? Like I'm so confused. It was definitely week one. That's not what I wanted to see. So we'll see how both of these teams go moving forward. It was another one of those like I don't know if this told us something or if it was just a shitty week one game.
Yeah, Broncos at Colts in week 2. Are the Colts, for real? Are they going to beat Denver or, we'll see. But that's going to be an interesting game for sure. I got to say, what grinds my gears, I'm going to bring that back. The Broncos have decided they're going to move into a dome in 2031. Bro, I'm so sick of every single team in the NFL moving to a dome. The Packers are going to be the last team to move into a dome. I wonder if that'll ever happen, but this league is ridiculous. I don't want to watch arena football. I hate the dome stuff. What do you think, John?
As a player, I love the dome. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Okay.
I mean, I think if you're thinking about real football, though, conditions are definitely an advantage. Like with Green Bay, Buffalo, like all those guys. That's definitely even Miami. Like that damn heat. It wasn't no joke. Like, up north team, you come to Miami. That's why they always wear white at home. Like they never wear their like powder blue. They always wear white at home. So that's definitely an advantage. But I think anything to make the fans more comfortable when they come to the facility is cool, man. And I think that's what it is. It's more like you want the fans to be there. Like people don't want to be freezing their butt off and all that stuff. So it makes sense.
Man, pop some edibles, drink some beer, put some layers on. Don't be a soft fan. What does the NFL fan become?
There's a lot of
oh my goodness,
church-going fans. So I want to talk a little bit about this Rams-Texans game. I have a solution for the Rams. Matt Stafford, he's missed a lot of playtime, aggravated disc in his back. I would like them to swoop in and get Shedeur Sanders, have him finish this year out behind Matt Stafford. Matt Stafford is going to retire either at the end of this season or at the end of next season. He hasn't specifically said it, but it's definitely on the table. I just think that's a better position for Shedeur. It gives the team somewhere to go. I mean, they won, did not allow a single Texans touchdown. Offense only scored 14 points though. So I think without the defense for them, another ugly week one game, but I think Shedeur would be a great fit in LA.
I like that.
Yeah. I couldn't think of it. Sean McVay with Shedeur, that'd be best case for Shedeur. And then learn from Stafford for a year. Yeah. That'd be awesome.
A little bit, solid defense.
In LA.
He'll be in a place that he's comfortable to, a nice little media market that he likes too. So that would be for him. That would be actually good job, man. That wouldn't make sense.
Yeah, he's got LA vibes already. He's got the social media. Yeah. I wonder if it would be a little distracting for him, but
so I think that's what he needs, though. I think that kind of
he needs the hype.
I think that brings the most out of him. Like some people can do better when they're in the bigger markets. Like being in a market like that, having something to do for him is literally going doing like marketing stuff. Like him, like just sitting at home is boring as hell. Think about it. He's been marketable his whole life. He grew up on a TV show. So him being in LA is something that, this is comfortable. Like for us, it might be uncomfortable having a TV around you all the time. For him, he's like, man, what am I pressured about? He be like, literally, he's been on a TV show since he was like 5 or 6. Like, come on, man, this is nothing. Like a TV in my face is cool. And LA probably might bring the best out of me. You have a lot of people, and people don't understand like having people that can watch you, like really having people to watch you. I was talking about this one time before. I was talking with another guy. I was like, man, people don't understand. Like you only have like 3 or 4 people in the crowd compared to having 100,000. Come on, man. LA, like think about it, in college, all he had was stars like on the sideline just to watch him play. So in Cleveland, you might have Bow Wow there.
Pressure.
Like, but so it's like totally different.
Yeah.
Like that kind of kid who needs to know that the assignment is due at 8 a.m. the next day to like feel the buzz to get it done. Like he needs the pressure to
Yeah.
perform. I like that. I am ready for this Texans offense to wake up. CJ Stroud said it was a wake up call. He said, I think the way we're going to practice this week, we're going to take it serious. We're going to, practice better, play better. So they're kind of chalking that up to a week one kind of scenario. But he just needs to remember Nico Collins exists. Like you have
Yeah.
a Pro Bowl wide receiver, 3 catches.
Yeah, and I think they're gonna start a little slow. I think not having Joe Mixon for the first 4 games is a big deal. I think that's gonna affect the offense. So I think they might start 0-2. They host the Bucks on Monday night. They need to win that game, but Tampa Bay is no joke.
Yeah, and I mean some of these penalties and the O line, like CJ Stroud was sacked 3 times. He was pressured a bunch, tons of holding calls, false starts, illegal shifts. It's another team that it just needs to kind of clean up a little bit.
Yeah, they disappointed me. I expected them to look better, but I'm saying I'm trying to justify it with Mixon. But yeah, they do need to look a lot better than they did. That was a sloppy game too, 14-9. I mean, not the best
Another
football.
sloppy kind of low scoring one, San Francisco, Seattle, 17-13.
That
Um,
game, that game pissed me off. I had that one in the bag. I was gonna be. You picked the Niners, right?
yeah.
And Reek Woolen has an interception right here. Just catch the damn ball. And I don't know what he does, and lets some no-name tight end catch it for the game winner.
It was one of those like could go either way situations, but I mean, since
Yeah,
week 10 of last season, Jake Moody's had issues. He's been 12 of 23. We already talked about how they let him go. And I think Abe is right. He must have been having issues in the offseason too. I was kind of hoping like he had a rough season last year. I was kind of hoping like, he'd improve, but they have cut ties, so they were done with that. Um,
yeah.
Christian McCaffrey
Same.
saying, I think we have a new team, really. Like the vibe is new. We've got a ton of new guys. So we're still trying to like figure out everybody's positions and how to play together. And McCaffrey looked good. What fucking
Yeah,
calf injury. He was running all over the place.
yeah, yeah. It's good to see him back. Ricky Pearsall, I really like him. I think he's going to have a big year. Sam Darnold, let's focus on not fumbling because your offensive line is behind you. Like protect the football. You're on the 12-yard line with a chance to win the game, and if someone backs into you and you fumble, come on, Sam Darnold.
That
But
is
that's
Sam
what I get
Darnold.
for picking. That's what I get for picking Sam Darnold. I should have never done it.
Yeah, I mean, their running back situation is fantastic. Zach Charbonnet is still fantastic. Kevin
Yeah,
Walker will be great. I think Sam Darnold is kicking himself a little bit for some of those bad plays, but another week one. Let's see who they are in the next couple weeks vibe for that game.
yeah. Niners 1-0. They got a good shot to go to 2-0 against the Saints next week, but no George Kittle for 4 games. It's a big loss, John.
Yeah, I was about to say, isn't Kettle and also the quarterback too? He got a shoulder and a couple of toes.
I think
They say he
he's
might
trying
not
to
be.
play, but he's banged up. Yeah,
Yeah, they say he might be ready for the two. But my thing is, with that kind of money, I wouldn't want him to play. Like, I know it sounds bad. I know you gave him a big deal this year, but I'm like, look, it's a foot and it's a shoulder. We're
You
gonna
kind
stick
of need
week,
those.
huh?
That he kind of needs those to play well.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'll give him. I would give him this week off. I wouldn't want to press it. And I know he's that kind of quarterback that like to play tough and he don't want to miss a game. But it's kind of like, okay, we got 15 more games. Like you said, CMC played great. So let's put it in the back of hands for a week and see what they can do. We want you. We need you for the long haul. And you're out here running like if you can't move as a quarterback,
yeah,
like and you're a mover, like you're a quarterback that can move. Yeah, it's not comfortable. And you gotta understand like your thought process. Whenever I was hurt, I always thought about that spot. like if I'm hurt, like okay, my shoulder, please don't hit my shoulder, don't hit my toe, please don't hurt my toe. So you're gonna be out here like you're gonna be throwing it and everything, but every time, like I'm literally saying, like every time, like if I got a shoulder,
So, Abe, my dumbass earlier, Alex sent me a link talking about players resting with injuries. he sent me like a Twitter link, and I opened it while I was doing something else, and it was someone being asked about Micah Parsons. They're like, well, if I was his coach, I would probably bench him this week and let him rest and recover. And I was like, I mean, we could. He's got the disc injury and stuff. 2 hours later, I realized it was Dan Quinn that said that because we play them on Thursday.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm so stupid. Like, I was like, wait, why? Yeah, I mean, I guess to protect. Oh, hell no. Like, it was so funny. It was the most delayed reaction ever.
That
But
makes
if you're playing against, like, if I was playing against Micah Parsons, like, maybe you just get a little elbow into his back a little bit. Like, you don't want
no,
to injure them, but
I
maybe
mean, if
just
they
like
know
tweak it a little bit.
just enough to get them out of the game.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you don't got to get them out of the game, and they literally still can be playing, be out of the game. Like once you get nicked, I remember I broke my thumb, right,
Mhm.
and I tried to play with a big cast on, like for the rest of the year, maybe like
Target.
five. No, no, I couldn't. No, it was hurt. Like every time, like
Yeah.
I would be hitting people like this and everything, and I was like, dude. But every time I played, it was always like this. And I can honestly say this. I had a groin injury my rookie year. I had a groin injury my fourth year. I had a groin injury my my seventh year, right? So every game, that's all I thought about. Like every game, it was
What
like
are you doing to get all these groin injuries?
I think I was overworking because like after my sixth year, I didn't have another groin injury.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I'm gonna tell y'all a story though. It's funny though. I
Mhm.
ran one of my old coaches, right? And so you ever had a job and you felt like your boss didn't like you? Like you knew, like you just knew you couldn't prove it. Like you couldn't like just put it like on paper, like, oh, he did this or he did this. But they might say something slick, and this before internet and before we had IG. So I'm talking to one of my old coaches because the Falcons had a little get together, and I'm like, hey, why y'all didn't like me? He was like, everybody liked you. It's just one person didn't like you. I was like, look, I was right. I said, I knew that.
Knew it.
He's like, Herm did not like you. Herm just didn't like you. I'm like, why though? He was like, man, we have no clue. Like, I'm for real. My coach was telling me because he was like, John, I promise you, like nobody had a problem with you, but it was just like he just had it out for you for some reason. I said, because I used to practice so hard. He was like, and I wish I recorded it because he was saying I want to put it online so bad. He was like, John, you practiced like you played. Like it was like something was wrong with you because you was practicing so hard, and I just didn't understand why you practiced so hard. I was like, dude, I was trying to get dude to like me. So that's why when you don't ever have a time off, and like in my first year in Atlanta, I ended up hurting myself again because I was still practicing like I played, and so my body died. So then they were like, look, John, you got to calm down. Like you ain't gonna practice on Wednesdays. You doing this, doing then like the rest of my career, I had no more problems with it. But it definitely was a reason, and for me to hear somebody validating that for like 20 years. Like this was 20 years. Like this was literally 20 years.
Bugging me for so long.
I swear. Think about it like this though. We had when I was in New York, they had a system where, well, not a system. The coach was like, if you practice well, you get a black jersey. In the 6 years there, I never got a black jersey.
Wow.
And I practiced. My backup got a jersey. I was just like F and A. It's a lot of story, but I'm sorry. Back to our thing. I just had to get that off my chest. I was so.
To tie that all together, we're talking about Brock Purdy potentially playing hurt. You're playing the Saints. You can beat the Saints with a backup quarterback, and the 49ers backup quarterback might come in and do better because I think this guy's in the perfect spot. Mac Jones in San Francisco, where he belongs, where he should have been drafted in the first place. Put Mac Jones out there. Let Brock Purdy heal up. You can beat the Saints without him.
Man, let him hand it off. Shut up.
Now let's talk about Amanda's favorite game of the weekend, the Packers.
I might like the Bills game better.
How can the Lions deserve that beatdown though?
Oh, they did. I'm very pleased the Packers won. I have to apologize. I said Micah Parsons wasn't going to be a week one difference maker. He wasn't a week one first 3 quarters difference maker. Fourth quarter and hot. He chased down Jared Goff like a cheetah on that was wild. That one run, Goff had no idea. It was like the cheetah chasing the gazelle situation. That was crazy. That sack was beautiful. It was a great game. Definitely saw some things that Detroit needs to work on moving forward. I have no notes for Green Bay. I'm not going to jinx anything. Not getting cocky. It is week 1. Just not going to say a word there. But I wanted Detroit's offense to look better. I wanted to play Detroit at their peak in this game, and that is not what we get. And I don't understand why they torched Green Bay's rushing defense. Like our run defense was garbage last year. They torched
Yeah.
it. Why weren't they running the ball in this game?
Yeah.
Like we didn't
Uh,
draft a whole new defense. We have a couple new key players, but it was still pretty much the same defense as last year, and they quit doing all the things that worked against us. And I don't understand that.
yeah, Kenny Clark is gone. The recipe for Micah Parsons is run at him, and the Lions have two great running backs, and they don't run the ball. I don't understand it. Um, yeah, but to me, the thing that stood out was how good the Packers offense looked to start that game. They came out ready to go. Jordan Love was slinging it all over the field and put the Lions in a hole early.
My favorite moment of this game is Isaac Tisla. I'm not sure if I'm
That
saying his
catch,
name wrong.
yeah, Isaac Kisla.
His first NFL catch as a rookie, the one-handed stretched out in the
Yeah.
air touchdown grab. Make that into a poster, make it into their new logo, put that shit on hats. That was beautiful.
Mhm.
What an amazing welcome to the NFL moment for him.
Yeah.
That was stunning.
John,
Well, I'm going to pat Green Bay on the back with this one. I think this is a game that they could have lost with all the hype of Michael coming in, but I think instead they showed that we're a great team, but they saying Michael is just a part that's going to make us better. I think they came out confident on both sides of the ball. I think 52, I ain't never seen him play like that. I can't even think of his name right now, but
Rashawn Gary.
From Sean
yeah,
Gary.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen him play that way. Like you can tell he won't like. I know we got him, but I'm still here. He getting sacks. You know they got them. They got a safety. So, but they played
Yeah.
how a winning team should play. And I don't know if it's Michael Parsons. I know why old boy did because he saw that big contract. He like, man, I got to tighten up. I
Oh,
need to get a
me
new deal.
too.
Like, yeah,
Mhm.
so it's like, but watching how they played, the confidence in playing Detroit, like we already thought Detroit, they ain't scaring nobody now. So I was expecting them not to, really be this way, but having Green Bay come and play them like they're nothing, that is what I like. And I'm not a Green Bay fan at all, I promise you. But watching how they played, and I'm like, Amanda has a squad this year, and she might not put a hex on it, but I'm saying this is the only game I saw that wasn't a first week game. This is like they're going to carry this. I can't see them getting worse after how they played against Detroit. Whether Detroit had their lineups right or something, they're getting new guys in here or there, but they still have the same mentality. It's still Detroit. You still want to do a certain thing, and for Green Bay to come and say we're going to be the bullies today, that to me, the first time in Jordan Love's career so far, I've seen him be like the guy. And I've seen Green Bay be that team that I'm like, I'm scared of them now. Like when she said the Super Bowl last week, I was like, but now I'm like Super Bowl. I'm like,
Yeah.
so
So
I can see it
the
now. They can play like this.
the reason I picked them for the Super Bowl is this is the first time in the past almost 10 years where there has been obvious holes in the team and they have fixed them in the offseason. Like we need a top wide receiver, we need somebody amazing. Normally they'd just go O-line in round one. Like they went after Matthew Golden, they got him. We needed someone to help step up our defense. Micah Parsons, the just the concept of that trade of bringing in a huge name and then the big contract, that is so not Green Bay's vibe. So them going after the people that we needed and bringing them in and addressing the obvious gaps. Like how many years in a row have we said, "Oh, Green Bay needs a wide receiver one"? 4 years, 3 years, like so
Yeah.
for them to actually do that, just the vibe has been different this year. And the interview and what Micah Parsons has said, he's like, these last 6 months have been super draining. Like they were basically like yanking him by the leash, saying that they were just going to put a franchise tag on him and not give him a new contract. And then they waited until a week before the season started to trade him. He said that
Yeah.
he was just kind of burnt out emotionally. He said, these guys embraced me. They believe in my talents. They believed in me. I'm just going to give them everything I have because I know what's at stake. So the environment, the vibes are there, the excitement is there. I'm very excited. I don't want to jinx anything, but maybe.
No, no, and I think what happens when you make a trade like that for Micah Parsons is because that defense had some issues in the past, like last year and stuff.
Yep.
But it brings
Especially
in like a
against Detroit.
Yeah, and it brings up like accountability. You got teammates around you want to play better and play harder because now they got a guy they believe in, an anchor, the best player on the defense. And I just think it raises the bar of everyone else on that defense. They balled out. I think that's part of the reason the Lions weren't successful. Is Jeff Hafley said post game the defense was relentless the entire game. I just think Micah Parsons brings that energy to Green Bay that they go from a good team now to a potentially great team that can win it all. And it's just the home fans, the atmosphere at Lambeau took over. The defense was playing. The offense came out ready to go. This is a team that believes now that Micah Parsons is there, and it's really cool. And they lived up to it in Week 1 for sure.
He's brought more attention to the defense,
Mhm.
if that makes sense. So now people, did you? I know Amanda saw, but after Parsons got that sack, which I'm saying anybody could have got the sack, but if you seen the excitement of the sideline when he got a sack,
Everybody lost their minds.
never see like if it was a sack to win the game, yes, but they were so happy to have him there, and not even because the numbers he's going to bring, but it's a different mentality. Like you said, I think Dallas got too comfortable with him. Like even when I played for certain teams, people knew I was going to be the guy to get the sack. But when I came to Atlanta, it brought our defense up at first because they were like, "Oh shit, let me play better because we know Abe can do it." But I want to be on that level he's on. So I think that just escalated compared to him. Like in Cowboys, they just got so used to it. Oh well, we'll make the Mike. We don't got no pass for Mike will be back. It ain't like that. Now they're like we want to meet. We need Micah now to bring us to push us harder. You know what I mean? So I think it's a different way you view it. I think the culture is going to change in Green Bay, definitely.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about the whole Michael Parsons situation is right before they went out in the tunnel, they had him go out last. Rashawn Gary came out before him, and he's like, "Okay, what's it going to be like? Is it going to be like crazy?" And Rashawn Gary goes, "Everyone is so excited that you're here. The fans are going to lose their minds. The ground's going to shake. Just run out there and embrace it. Like take all the 11." And he's like, "And I ran out, and the ground shook. Like we needed him. We wanted him. The team is happy he's there. I'm stoked about that." And then my other Super Bowl pick, the Buffalo Bills, also had an amazing game. Alex, I would love to hear your takes on that because I know the Ravens are your team. But best football game of the week. The Packers were great, but that game was so lopsided. This was an instant classic. Week 1, the game was perfection.
Yeah, the game was awesome. So many players balling out. Lamar Jackson with a great game. Derrick Henry looked unstoppable. There was times, I mean, I tweeted like, how do you stop this Ravens offense? You know, and then they blow the lead and people are like, you know, whatever, cold take. But like
Ed
this
Oliver. Ed Oliver is how you stop the Ravens offense. He was a
Ed Oliver
one-man
was
show.
great in this game, and that he was the one with the strip fumble on Derrick Henry. That was the game-changing play. Josh Allen was Superman. That fourth quarter was insane. 250 yards and 3 touchdowns in one quarter. Incredible.
I do not like the Ravens fans hating on Derrick Henry. It was a fumble. Yes, it was his fault because he had the ball. But there are fumbles where the ball comes into their hands in their chest and they just don't like.
Yeah, that was ripped out.
That was taken from him. He did not hand the ball off. Give the man some credit. You wouldn't even have been in that situation without Derrick Henry. Like this game would have been 20 points less without Derrick Henry. And that do not blame him for the loss. It was a close game. Both defenses could have played a little bit better. But I do not like the Derrick Henry hate by the fans. It was pissing me off.
Yeah. You know, Derek he's taking it way harder than everybody else because he's like, that's my best game, my worst game. But, you know, that's fans. And one thing about it, you can make it up next week. I mean, it's a game they lost. Hopefully we're going to see them play again. We already know they're going to run into each other again. It's just the fact that, like I said, this is one of the games I had turned off and I had to go watch back because I was like, okay, well, I'm tired of watching this. You know, they won this game, especially after D-Hop catch, which was an amazing catch.
That was incredible.
Yeah, I had to hit.
Amazing first impression for him.
Yeah, I said, Alex, did you see that catch? And I think one thing we should talk about also too is me and Alex talk about the fan situation. Like, you know, some people say it's okay to like, you know, interact with the people, but the guy, you know, kind of smushed D-Hop, then he smushed
smacking the helmets.
First of all, it's not like, it's different if that would have been a lineman or anybody else, but it's Lamar Jackson. Like you gotta understand the NFL is going to protect their star players. Like, even if
Right.
the star player does something stupid, like, it's a part of the game that you want to interact with the fans. You want to, like, we never want to see the Lambeau Leap be taken away because fans don't know how to act. It's a respect thing, and, you know, if you're on the other team, the other guys come up, you know, like I said, I told Alex, give me the bird, you know, cuss me out.
Exactly.
But you
Smacking
push
people.
a grown man in the face, and you expect
Yeah.
the first hit I kind of saw, but, you know, D Hop was so happy about the thing, he probably didn't even notice. He probably thought it was a teammate or something. He
Yeah, he
didn't pay
was
attention to
stoked.
it, but Lamar was looking the same thing. He came and, like, really got Lamar, and Lamar pushed him back. And I think that's something that we gotta take out of the game. Even them throwing, like, stuff at it. Buffalo's like that. You know, Buffalo is just, people are ignorant sometimes. They throwing, like,
Yeah.
beers and stuff on the field and stuff. And it was a part of football in the 70s and 80s that was cute. You know, going to the Raiders, you know they're gonna throw batteries at you, or you going to, like, the Philly, they gonna throw snowballs. It's cool and everything, you know, but now it's a little. People have lives and stuff. You know, if you take somebody's eye out, let's say if the guy would have pushed Lamar. And because, look, we're not looking to get hit. So let's say if he'd have like jolted his neck or been somewhere that he couldn't play, and people don't see it that big. They think we're such big athletes and we can take so much, but you never know what you could have done to him. Like pushing him in the head, you don't know. Let's say if he had a mild injury or something, and you push him or you do something different, and then now he's out for the season, and you're the reason. And like, it's just a lot of stuff. So let's try to keep it cordial out there, man. Like, it's football,
Yeah.
like. You know, and I saw so many people talking about they teammates, and I told you this, Alex. Their teammate be hitting them on the head all the time. I said, dude, it's their teammates.
Yeah,
I said,
exactly.
that's like me going up to your mom because your dad slapped on the ass, and I come slap on the ass too. Well, the dad did it too. Like, come on, it's just some stuff that you got to know. Like, don't make it just like, oh, you're the same. You're the same as important as Lamar Jackson. I'm not saying as a person you're not. I'm saying, but you don't play football.
Yeah.
You know, let's be realistic.
The fan who was pushing them, who is now not allowed back at the stadium, his interview today with the neck brace on, I was like, you piece of, I don't even care if you're injured. Don't ever show your face on TV again.
Yeah, I didn't even see that yet.
Yeah, he's got like a cushion neck brace and he's reading an apology off his phone. I'm like,
He's banned for life from any NFL game, not just Buffalo. So good luck with that.
That's the proper response. Like,
yeah,
as a Green Bay fans and Buffalo fans, they're very similar. There's a lot of social media stuff. Like, Green Bay fans were stoked on Josh Allen winning that game. Like, Bills fans are like, well, if the Bills don't win it, I'd like the Packers to win it. The vibes are very similar. They both play outside. Like, the two fan bases get along well. But there have been times when Packers fans, somebody from another team does a Lambeau Leap, they've dumped nacho cheese on a player.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that. Now, I will say that, now, if I jump in your crowd, now you kind of like you giving yourself up. Now, if I go to like another team and they push me out, I get it. But if I'm just
if I'm the player and I jump in the fan, someone put nacho cheese on me, if they take it off me and rub it off themselves and rub it in my face, like, I had that shit coming. Like, don't give something you don't want to get back.
But I'm saying they were like, this was them just walking on the thing. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
that was bullshit. I was so mad about that.
He reached over to get if Lamar would have jumped up into the fan and they pushed him back out, dude, that's fair. But I'm like,
his teammates like that, Lamar. Like, how do you not like Lamar? How do you not root for Lamar? Like,
exactly.
One thing I'll say, so my team, all right, Bears, Vikings. We started out great. I mean, we were up 17-6. We got a pick 6 off of JJ McCarthy. But the reason I couldn't pick the Bears in this game is we were down 3 defensive starters. And I just know the Bears, they find a way to lose these games, you know, and you hope that the Ben Johnson era, you're going to get out on the right note. But penalties like crazy. Some of them fair, some of them not so much. That holding on Darnell Wright was atrocious.
There were some bad penalties, but 127 yards in penalties. At one point, halfway through the third quarter, the Bears had more yards in penalties than the Minnesota Vikings had in total offense.
Yeah, and you're not going to win that way. Already shorthanded. And it's just so frustrating to me. I've been harping on this all offseason. The Bears refuse to figure out left tackle and running back. Our lack of running game is the reason we lost this game. And once Minnesota got theirs, the entire momentum shifted. So This Bears team has holes, but what did you think, John?
Well, it's something I've seen today. It was definitely Ben Johnson's fault from not making adjustments from the first half to the second half. The better defensive coach kind of won because in the first half
Yeah.
they only blitzed once in the first half. They blitzed 14 times in the second half, and you saw a whole different quarterback in y'all quarterback. I think Caleb is a super confident guy, but I still think he's too playful to be a NFL quarterback. I think I know people like the dancing and stuff, but when you have a quarterback, it's kind of like you want the quarterback to score. Let's get back and see what we did wrong. You can celebrate, but all the dancing and stuff, and we doing our, bro. You like
You
you
haven't done anything yet.
y'all ain't got a good team. Y'all don't have
Yeah.
go celebrate with the guys. Yeah, good job. Get back and get it back and get into this little thing and see what you did right. Okay, do this, do this. Talk to your linemen, ask them how they feel about this. It just seemed like he's a good player, but not a good. I guess, like I tell people, he's a good player, but not a good pro. Like until he becomes a good pro. When I'm saying the extra stuff, like even with the blitzing coming, like you've seen the difference, like from the first half to the second half. As a quarterback, if you would have been a pro in the first half, like look, they're not blitzing us that much in the first half, like we might want to look for this in the second half.
Yeah,
So
we got to be ready for that.
slide the front, I can be ready to do this. And so when they changed up, you saw a whole different Caleb Williams. You seen him like nervous. You seen him doing different things. And everybody watches film, so everybody's going to see this. So every team now going to be like, okay, let's bait him in, get him comfortable, and blitz the mess out of him. Let's just blitz the hell out of him and see what he can do with it. So I think that's definitely something that you can say that's Ben Johnson's fault, but also you got to put it on Caleb Williams not being able to recognize the difference between the defense that's going to change in the first and second half.
I noticed him reverting to his old, because traditional Caleb Williams is hold on to the ball, make a run play, but he went 10 for 10 on his first 10 pass attempts. Like you have 10 straight completions, and then suddenly he's like, oh, I'm doing great. I'm going to try to run it. And that's when things started going the other direction. If it's working, don't get cocky. Don't mix it up. Let your receivers do the legwork. So
Well,
as soon as he started holding onto the ball and tried to make a play on his own legs, I was regretting picking them.
well, and I think the pressure with the extra heat coming at him with the blitzing and stuff makes him revert to his old self.
Right.
And in the first half, when it's easy, it's quick, it's simple, it's 10 for 10. But the second half, they didn't adjust. And to me, the quarterback's best friend is a running game. And
Yeah.
I don't understand drafting Colston Loveland where we did. We have Cole Kmet. We
Yeah.
didn't use Colston Loveland much in this game.
I love him. I don't think that was what Chicago needed at that point.
Yeah, it was a luxury pick.
Yeah.
And
He's a
you
big
could have
name.
had O'Marion Hampton. And O'Marion Hampton last night would have been a much bigger. The Vikings had two running backs that were gassing us, and the Bears had nobody. DeAndre Swift, we keep trying to make DeAndre Swift into a number one between the tackles running back, and he's just not. He doesn't have good vision. He's out in space, catch the ball, make something happen out there, but he's not a between the tackles, and we don't really have that right now unless it's a seventh-round pick, Kyle Monangai or something like that. But the Bears are, going into week one with holes on the roster really frustrates me. But for the Vikings, they look good. Credit to J.J. McCarthy. You throw a pick six early, and you have the mental, to stick with it and make some big throws late. That touchdown to Justin Jefferson was the best throw I've seen from him.
I
Yeah.
can't.
Oh, go ahead, Abe.
I can't give him a clap because he played y'all. And I'm sorry, bro. I can't say he was great. I mean, sure they won the game, but I was watching the game and I was thinking maybe they should have waited one more year with Dom.
You've been saying that, yeah.
I was thinking like maybe just one more year, and I'm not saying JJ's not going to be great, but I'm just saying like this looks like it's going to be one of those I'm catching up years. I'm doing the because Chicago, they should have. It shouldn't even been close. I mean,
I picked the Bears here for that reason. I love JJ. He helped Michigan win a championship. That's my team. Like, that's my boy. He was an Aaron Rodgers, Jordan Love, sit behind a good veteran quarterback for a couple years player. He did not get that opportunity. He missed his entire rookie year. Now he's starting. He is the first quarterback in NFL history to have 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter of his NFL debut. Amazing, fantastic, but that's not sustainable. And I mean, shout out to them for finally getting Mason running in the second half. He didn't really have a lot of yards in the first half, but his job at Michigan was to hand the ball to Blake Corum. That is what he did. That is what he was good at. He did not really have a passing game coming into the NFL. He needed a Sam Darnold, a Kirk Cousins to sit behind for more than just 1 year. 1 year where he wasn't even able to practice and play adequately. Um,
But he
I
had some nice throws. The throw to
did.
Justin Jefferson, the touchdown to Aaron Jones was nice.
Yeah, he had some nice plays, but also
Yeah,
that
yeah.
receiving and running back core is amazing. So,
And
I,
our secondary, that's a big reason I couldn't pick Chicago. With Jalen Johnson out and then Kyler Gordon out, that's a big loss, losing both of them. My family was like, "How are you picking against the Bears here? We're all picking Chicago. What are you doing?" But I'm like, "Well, I'm down 3 games to Amanda. I got to take the
for the
Vikings so I
safest
can get
pick.
it back to 2." And John, if the Ravens could just finish the job, we'd be tied right now. But of
Right.
course, the Bills got to come in and steal the show. So.
It's my
Yeah.
Super Bowl pick. I can't have either team losing in week one. Come on.
But Amanda, don't get cocky. I told you I'm winning this year. I'm letting you know. Good
Okay, well,
start, but
your two-game hole. Who you picking Thursday? Commanders, Green Bay?
I'm gonna let you guys go first. I think I know where I'm going, but I know Amanda's going Green Bay. What do you think, John?
I'm going Green Bay. I think last week y'all sold me on 1 week, and I know it's the first week. I watched the Washington game. Washington didn't really play well. They just like sometimes it was just them. It was just
Yeah.
who they played. They shouldn't have won that game. But I think Green Bay is going to solidify that they're a good team by playing Washington. I think it's going to be some good football, and I think we finally because they did a good job chipping on Michael Parsons and the other guys. But I think this game we're going to really see Michael Parsons be Michael Parsons. He has four in the last 2 games. He got 4.5 sacks against the Redskins, so you might see a different change up in him.
I'm
Yeah.
intrigued to see if the Commanders' defense is as good as they looked against a shitty team, or if they just looked
Mhm.
good because like I'm intrigued by the Commanders' defense. They had played a great game, but was the other team just that bad?
I don't think Detroit was that bad. I do think they're gonna struggle this year, but the Green Bay looks legit, and I expect them to look really well in this game. I think Washington's gonna look better as well, but Green Bay gets the win in a close, hard-fought game by like 3 points, maybe 6 points, but a one-score game. So I'm gonna go Green Bay as well. I'd love to take Washington here, but I'm not ready yet. Need to see more out of the Packers first.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but week 2 is going to be awesome. Week 1 was unbelievable. It was a long episode, but lots of shit to talk about. So,
Yeah, it was a crazy
um,
football week, but thanks for waiting this out and sitting through this with us, guys. We'd love to hear your crazy takes. I mean, what game do you guys think as our listeners is going to be the craziest game in week two? That's what I want to know.
yeah, let us know in the comments. And appreciate the support. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment, and have a great week, guys. Peace out.